let's start this hour with talking about the AFC Championship game. We got the Bengals at the Chiefs. Some people call it the Bengals at Burrowhead, but let's talk about this. Let's get into it. TJ, Plex, I mean, obviously your team is continuing to march through the playoffs. They're a much better team than what they were when you were there, TJ Houshmandzadeh, probably because they had better receivers there than what they did back when Marvin Lewis was there. I mean, if I want to lose games, I'll have Marvin Lewis as a head coach. Nah, I'm joking. That was a shot at Marvin Lewis. That was a shot at Marvin Lewis because, you know what, he took a shot at me quite often. So, you know what? Wow. I got the radio. Let me take a quick shot at him on national radio. Shouts out to you, Marvin Lewis. I'm just being funny. Hey, I'm just being silly. That was an inside joke to everyone out there. TJ Plex, wow. what are we looking for in this AFC Championship game?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start this off because I know this is TJ's team. I know he wants to be long-winded, so I'm going to just jump in front of him because the Cincinnati Bengals are, in his estimation, the best football team in the world right now, which they have the opportunity to be. But I'm just looking at this game, and I think it's going to all come down to how healthy is Patrick Mahomes. That is going to be the main plot moving forward to this game tomorrow for the Kansas City Chiefs. If he's healthy, I'm still going to pick the Bengals because I just think that they are tougher than the Kansas City Chiefs up front, physical. I think they're going to be able to run the football and throw it. Spags is going to put those guys in some bad situations, I think, with those wide receivers trying to blitz and putting them in one-on-one situations. Joe Burrow, this young man, he's not flinching. And he is just as good as Patrick Mahomes is right now as far as being named or called the best quarterback in football. I think he's right there. And defensively, I don't think a lot of people are giving the Cincinnati Bengals enough credit, man. They're just a solid football team all the way around. And just like Joe Mixon said a few weeks ago, he said, we are the big dog in the AFC. And I just thought that was some bulletin board material for the Bengals moving forward. But maybe they just are the big dog in the AFC. And if Joe Burrow goes in there and wins this football game, I would not be surprised. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game because I just think that they are a more physical football team, and nobody is really expecting them to go in there and win this game. But if Patrick Mahomes is not healthy, I don't think that the Chiefs have the chance to win this game tomorrow.
I'm going to start right there. Is Patrick Mahomes healthy? All three of us played football a long time. You don't have a high ankle sprain and come back in the game, that same game, and play.
No.
You don't have a high ankle sprain and play the following week. You don't. So for them to say, oh, he has a high ankle sprain, that's false. And they know it's false. You are not playing the week after or coming back in that same game if you have a high ankle sprain. It's virtually, you can't even walk.
They said he had a full practice on Wednesday.
And that shows me they were embellishing his injury. There's no way, it's no way possible.
They building the legend, TJ.
It's no way, and I don't know why someone on TV hadn't said this. Like, it's impossible.
Well, you saying it now.
Tell him, TJ.
Like, this guy does not. So they trying to Michael Jordan him, the flu game. Like, he's so hurt. And if they win, he won on a high ankle sprain. Patrick Mahomes is fine. There's no way you come back into that game. There's no way you even practice on Wednesday. Bro, if anything, his only practice would have been a walkthrough today. But I digress. Nothing's wrong with Patrick Mahomes. Don't let him fool you with that. He's okay.
Why are you hating on Pat?
I'm not hating on Pat. It's the doctors and the trainers of the
Chiefs. But you know how the injury report is each week moving forward.
Lying to the public.
Let his injury be bad so he could be a hero if he wants.
Hey, high ankle sprain. You ain't in a
boot. High ankle.
Hey, when I saw it, I thought it was MCL. That's what I thought.
I thought it was a broken ankle.
Hey, you're not wearing a boot or on crutches, but you practice on Wednesday and you have a high ankle sprain. Yeah, all right. I was born at night, but it wasn't last night.
You would have had a walking boot on.
He must be on some of that good dope. That's all I can say.
That good dope.
There's nothing wrong with Patrick Mahomes. Man, this boy LaVar is something else.
Her on anything. Give him
they had to take him to get a bump.
The dope he got in him, it's on a spoon.
Oh no!
Y'all crazy.
Not a spoon, Stretch.
When we look at the football
cocaine's
game,
a hell of a drug.
Y'all wrong for that, man.
Give it to me, babe. Say what?
Hey, on the spoon Plex, you went hella old school with that one.
He would Nino Brown on him. The Carter.
Now the football game. The Chiefs are a different team. They don't have that big play threat. Mahomes wants to throw the ball. Kelsey had 10 receptions in the first half last week, and I'm watching them like, Jags, if you guys take Kelsey away, you got a chance. You have a chance. 14 catches total in the game for Kelsey. And we know this going into the game. Take away his security blanket, make him throw the ball to other guys. Will frustration set in for Kelsey? Will frustration set in?
Cincy has done a great job in defending Travis Kelsey every time they played. And they have been 3-0 against Kansas City.
Burrow is 3-0 against the Chiefs.
Burrow is 3-0, so keep that in mind.
And that doesn't matter because every game has come down to the last possession. So all three of those games could have gone either way. And I'm pulling for the Bengals. They could have gone either way. They're last possession type games. And so you think the Chiefs were killing the Bengals at halftime. They made the adjustments. They come back and win that game last year. Patrick Mahomes is healthy. Joe Burrow is healthy. I was impressed with the way the Bengals offensive line
this year
performed.
So they like last year.
But they ran the ball. Chris Jones, he concerns me. That concerns me. Him up the middle. Everybody has played the Chiefs differently without Tyreek Hill. But Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they've adjusted. They know they're not going to one play get you very much, if any at all. But they are going to nickel and dime their way down the field. Mahomes doesn't force the ball. He understands that. This is going to be a really good game. Obviously, I'm going with the Bengals, and y'all going to hear that on up on game, down on game. But Arrowhead Stadium, the Mercedes-Benz, where the Saints play, and the Seattle Seahawks are the three loudest stadiums I've played in. It's going to be a challenge.
Gonna be hard.
It's going to be a challenge. It's probably, I'm assuming the temperatures is probably going to be somewhere in the teens or the 20s. It's going to be cold, but it's what Plex said. If Spagnuolo wants to blitz and lead those DBs on the island, Chase, T. Higgins, and Boyd going to get off. And Hayden Hurst, he was the first-round pick of the Baltimore Ravens for a reason. He can do damage if you put too much emphasis on stopping those guys on the outside. If Burrow has time, which I'm going to assume they're going to come out and try to run the ball and slow this pass rush and Chris Jones down, the Bengals should win. But I'm not going to count out Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and Andy Reid because they are that good. They've been to the AFC Championship how many years in a row now? It's 5. A reason why. There's a reason why.
I'll say this. I think there are a couple things that have to happen for Kansas City to be able to win this game. One, they have to stop Mixon in the run game. I just told y'all, Mixon ran for 120 against Buffalo. If you're able to apply the pressure that way of being able to control the line of scrimmage in the running game, that gave Cincinnati a confidence and a distinct advantage against the Bills in that game. Two, if I'm looking at this from the offensive side of the ball as Kansas City, Pat Mahomes has to protect the ball. I think if they stop the run and Patrick Mahomes protects the ball, I think that Kansas City has the chance of being able to win this game. I know we'll do up on game down on game. I'm actually going with Kansas City. I think all the things that you guys have said are very relevant, and I think it makes a ton of sense. And I think that it's so pronounced and it's so easy to comprehend that we're going to find out how good of a coach Andy Reid and his coaching staff truly is. Because you know what? They're not coming with anything different than what you guys just detailed in terms of Cincinnati's game plan. And so to me, you're going to find out. We talk about how prolific an offense this has been under Andy Reid. Andy Reid has historically had prolific offenses. Andy Reid has shown that he can adapt and adjust, as you mentioned, TJ. They've learned how to play without the cheetah being on the roster. They're going to need somebody else to step up because the one thing that they know is that Kelsey has not had the greatest of success against Cincinnati. Cincinnati has made it a point to be able to take Kelsey out of the game plan. So this is opening the opportunity for somebody else within the ranks to actually be able to, if you ask me, have one of those breakout moments where you can say, okay, here we go, a star is born, or this is where it goes from here. But if it doesn't happen that way, I think once again it'll be a game where Kansas City comes up short. But we're going to learn a lot about how they coach right there in Kansas City, and if it's going to be Burrowhead or not.
Yeah, and also, man, if you look at Steve Spagnuolo and his resume and what he has been able to do,
we know you love him
defensively. I love Spags, man.
He's
a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a person.
We know you love Spags.
And for the Kansas City Chiefs, the recipe for beating a great quarterback, just like TJ said, Chris Jones and those guys getting pressure up the middle and getting to the quarterback without blitzing. And that is one of the things that he has been able to hang his hat on as a defensive coordinator, is getting to the great quarterbacks and still being able to play coverage and not give up big plays. And that is what he wants to do defensively. But there are going to be some times where he's going to have to blitz and put those guys in one-on-one situations. But if he can control the line of scrimmage defensively for him, it's going to be definitely a win for Kansas City moving forward.
You heard what Willie Gay said. You heard what Willie Gay said.
What did he say?
What concerns you about the Bengals offense? You know what he said? Nothing.
Nothing.
All right.
That's what he said.
All right. You better show up to play tomorrow.